Hey guys, we're going to go through the entire UFC 318 card, the early prelims, and the main card, all the way up to the main event. We're going to give you a detailed prediction and breakdown of each fight, how I think they're going to go, where you should place your bets. Obviously, I'm totally unbiased, and I know who's going to win, man. I'm the best predictor on all of YouTube. Just listen, and you'll see my takes, and you'll understand. I've done so much tape study that it's hard to even comprehend. Okay? That's me, man. So without further ado, let's get into this Holloway versus Poirier 3. Starting with Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Dustin Poirier didn't look washed in his last fight, but he definitely looked a little bit slower. And I know that's against Islam, who is grappling heavy and has the takedown threat, which opens up options on the feet. So I understand why Dustin was a little bit more hesitant on the feet compared to going against some of these other strikers. Now, with that being said, Max Holloway has gotten so much better since the last time that they fought, and I think he's going to be leagues ahead of Poirier in this one. I don't think losing it to Poirier is a bad look, especially at 45. People like to forget. People forget, man. Holloway, the thing about Rogan is, and this needs to be mentioned, the thing about Rogan is that he honestly doesn't even pay attention anymore to half the shit coming up, and it's sad that he's so washed from the sport because he was such a big face in it. I wish he would love the sport as much as he used to. I understand he's been there for a long time, but whatever, man. Whatever. Let's talk about Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I think Max Holloway, people forget, man. Max Holloway was coming down from 55, that fight with Gaethje that he bulked up to. He knew about that fight for almost 6 months. Go back and listen to the interviews. He knew about that fight for about 6 months before it came about. Then after the fight, April, he cut down to 145. And you could say this fight was technically a war between him and Gaethje, even though he dominated. Gaethje did knock him down. I don't care if it was counted or not. He got knocked down. It wasn't a stumble. Gaethje hit him a couple times clean on the chin. And then after that, he fought 6 months later on UFC, what was it? 318? No, this one. 308, something like that. I think it was 308. Yeah, in Abu Dhabi against Poirier, which he cut back down to 145. That is a big factor that no one's talking about in his last fight. People were talking about Max is washed, Max is this, Max is that. Cody's me, man. Just let me be me. I think Max Holloway is going to show levels. I think he's going to show speed differences. I think he's going to finally get this one back against Poirier. And I think he's going to spoil the retirement. I think it's going to be a tough fought 4-round fight. And I think Max Holloway is going to start laying down some shots in the end of the 4th and the 5th. And I think it's going to work well against Poirier. Now, Poirier does have a chance if he comes out quick and he goes guns blazing. I do think that's his only chance in this fight. I think in later rounds it goes into the tougher it's going to be for him. So yeah, I'm going with Max Holloway by 4th or 5th round TKO. I think he's going to get it in the 4th for some reason. But who knows, man. To be honest with you, Max doesn't lose much if he loses in this fight. And he doesn't win much if he wins in this fight either. Hopefully it puts him in a position for a top contender fight. Him versus Armand, something like that. But I don't even know about that. Let's go to the next one. Roman Kopylov versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa finally actually makes it to the fight. I think he's going to dog walk Roman Kopylov. I don't think Kopylov is that good. I think he's very overrated. And I think Paulo Costa's coming into this one with a good headspace. I think he's going to win this one. I think he's going to get TKO in the later rounds. Probably 3rd round TKO on the feet. Yeah. I think Paulo's finally going to be back in this one. I just do. I don't think Roman Kopylov is that good, man. He's had a lot of time off. Daniel Rodriguez versus Kevin Holland. This is kind of a layup fight. I think Kevin Holland's going to wash him. Daniel Rodriguez is very slow, very boxing heavy, doesn't throw any kicks. He's not very good on the ground. Kevin Holland is all of those things. He's a lot faster on the feet. He's a lot rangier on the feet. He has a 7-inch reach advantage on the feet. Daniel Rodriguez is very slow, very boxing heavy. I think if Kevin Holland decides to throw some kicks in there, he's going to get a TKO in the second round. Yeah, man, I think this Kevin Holland at 170 is a lot more determined to take his fight style serious. I think he's really going to make a run for that top 10. And I think he can do it with his activity compared to the other welterweights. Obviously, if they can keep him away from those younger guys, I think he could do really well. I digress. On to the next. Now, if Kevin Holland of the old shows up where he doesn't give a fuck and he's just collecting a check, I still think he wins. I just don't think it's that dominantly. I think it's going to be more of a decision. But if this determined Holland shows up, the one that's been fighting recently, I think he dog walks Rodriguez for the first round and then gets a TKO in the second round. I do think he's that good, unfortunately, with how fucking annoying Kevin Holland is and how childish he is and the 45-70 bullshit. I still think he's good. Danny Gay versus Patricio Pitbull. You know, this is kind of the fight they probably should have had for Patricio in his first UFC fight. I think that was a big spotlight for him, especially against somebody as tricky as Yair. This one's a bit more approachable. I still think Danny Gay gets it done. I think Danny Gay is a lot more technical and a lot better fighter than Patricio Pitbull is. You know, Danny Gay's very good on the ground, very experienced. And I think he gets this one done via decision. I think it's going to be a tit-for-tat battle, a couple grappling exchanges. I don't think Patricio's that good on the ground as people think he is. I don't think he's all that. We've seen these guys cross over from the PFL and Bellator time and time again, and they keep failing. I do think he's a good fighter. I just don't think he's going to beat Danny Gay. I think it's going to be a decision for Ige. Let me know your thoughts on that one. That one's a bit tricky one. You know, I understand the ratings or the odds. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zahuber. Who knew we were going to get a Michael Johnson main card fight ever again, to be honest with you? Michael Johnson looked good in his last fight. Daniel Zahuber looked good in his last fight as well. Who was his last fight, huh? Ribovic. Damn, that was a long time ago. So he must have been dealing with some issues and some injuries. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm going to go with Daniel Zahuber. I think he's finally back in this one healthy. He's finally back in this one ready to go. He's a big guy for lightweight, and I like the way he fights. I do wish he had a little bit more pop in his shots and a little bit more range control because Michael Johnson is one of those guys that's old but fast as fuck for his age. So I still think Zahuber gets this one done. I think he's going to land some crazy shit at the end of one of the rounds and TKO Michael Johnson. The guy has no chin. He's a little bit older, unfortunately. With how good he is, he's just not what he used to be. And that's just the truth, man. With 19 losses, it's a tough fucking career. I digress. On to the next. Vinicius Oliveira versus Kyler Phillips. Honestly, this one probably should have replaced the last one. This one should be on the main card because this is a very, very good fight. This is very good matchmaking. I'm excited for this one. Kyler Phillips has been out for a while since his last fight. Vinicius Oliveira is back in there again. When was his last fight, huh? February. Oh, so he's a little bit more active. Let's check Phillips' last fight. Rob Font. October 19th. That's a long time, man. Almost as much as Zahuber. So that tells me he's dealing with some injuries, dealing with some issues. And he didn't look that good against Rob Font. And Rob Font, to me, is kind of the gatekeeper. He's almost like the Neil Magny of the bantamweight division. It's the truth. I think Vinicius gets this one done via decision. I don't think he finishes Kyler Phillips, but I do think he gets the better striking in this one. Yeah. I'm going to go with Vinicius Oliveira. I think he's very good. I think he's very technical. He throws a lot of kicks. He has a very good guard. He blocks a lot of shots defensively. You know, he's very, very technical. And I just think Kyler Phillips is not that good compared to him. Kyler Phillips is decent, but I don't think his boxing is that good. I think he's more of a kick-heavy type of guy. And I think Vinicius has more ways to win, especially with the grappling. He's very good. He went against Said Nurmagomedov. That's very good. That's a very good grappling win. He dominated that fight. I digress. On to the next. And look at the experience level too. He has 10 more fights than Kyler Phillips on the professional level. That's a lot, man. The same amount of losses. I digress. Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. I'm not sure why this one's not on the main card either. This one should be a main card type of fight. I don't know why Zahuber got over this one. This is kind of an issue, man. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. I know they had some bad blood at some casino a while ago. Brendan Allen's pretty damn good, man. Marvin Vettori's kind of shit. We saw that again against Dolidze. Just a shit fighter. I think Brendan Allen gets this one done via grappling exchanges and decision. Both guys are not very, heavy finishers, so I'd be very surprised if there's a finish in this one. But I'm going to go with Brendan Allen via decision. I just think he has more ways to win. He's a little bit more well-rounded than Marvin Vettori, who I don't understand is still ranked number 10 in the division. It doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Francisco Prado versus Nikolai Varentennikov. This is my dog, Nikolai. I'm going to go with Francisco Prado. He's very durable, has a great chin. He can strike for days. I digress. Robert Valentin versus Ateba Gautier. I think Ateba gets this one done. He's very strong. This is literally Francis Ngannou in the middleweight division. He's a massive guy for the division. I mean, this guy's muscles pop through his fucking skin. It's ridiculous. And he's only 20-something years old. He's young. He's not an older guy. I think he has a lot better chin. I think he's going to get this one done. KO in the first round. I think this is going to be a quick night in the office for him. He's very good, and he's very powerful to be in this division. And he's young enough to throw caution to the wind where he just moves forward. Yeah, man, I think he's that good. And Robert Valentin couldn't take out Torres Finney. So you deserve to get fucking clocked, man. Disrespectful to allow some guy like that in here. Adam Fujit versus Islam Dulatov. I think this guy's the model, right? Isn't he like the Dior model or something? I'm going to go with Adam Fujit. I think Adam Fujit's, in color, and he's definitely been here before. I'm not very familiar with Islam, even though the modeling career seems to be the best way to make money. But Adam Fujit's not bad. Or Fugit. I'm going to go with Adam Fugit by decision. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I think Jimmy Crute's finally becoming a little bit more active. I know he decided to retire after one of his fights and had a little bit of a meltdown, but he seems like he's a bit more active than he used to be. And I think he's going to get this one done via TKO in the first round. I don't think Marcin is that good on the feet or on the ground. I think he's a shit fighter. I think he's literally in the UFC just to be propped up as a highlight reel. Let me know your thoughts. Ryan Spann is going to get knocked out by Lucas Brzeski. That's an easy one. Jackson McVeigh, the guy who just got his fight canceled, versus Bruno Ferreira. I think Bruno's going to get this one done via TKO. Now, Jackson McVeigh is very new to the UFC. I think this is his debut. He got his last fight canceled because the guy missed weight by some crazy amount. Then he got cut, which was crazy. So this is the second time he's had to make weight in, I believe, a week or two. I think that's going to drain his chin, and I think Bruno Ferreira is going to get the TKO early. Probably in the second round, because he's taking this on short notice. So I don't see him having a gas tank to go long term. We'll see if Jackson McVeigh is that good to keep him off of him, but I think he gets TKO'd by Bruno Ferreira in the first two rounds. Carly Judas versus Nicole Cagliari. Nicole Cagliari, because she's Brazilian. I digress. On to the next. Let me know your thoughts down below. Comment, subscribe. Thank you.